brothers and sisters. Easter began in the dark and began in the tomb. When Mary Magdalene reaches the tomb, she sees that the stone is rolled away. And the first thing that comes to her mind is that Jesus' body must have been stolen. She reported to the apostles what she saw. Immediately, Peter and John start running to the tomb. The beloved disciple reaches the tomb first, waits for Peter, while looks in to see the clothes that wrapped the dead Jesus lying on the grave. And when Peter arrives, he goes in first and sees what John also sees. Many are asking me, how come that John did not enter since he arrived first? You see, John, with all respect to Peter, he has to wait for the first of the apostles to get in first. This is what we call the primacy of Peter. And the climax of the story is when John goes in and sees the same evidence. In contrast to Peter, he believes. He sees more than the funeral clothing lying on the ground. He sees with the eyes of faith what he saw. His is a love that sees through the dark. And if Peter enjoys the primacy of authority, John enjoys the primacy of love. And for us, brothers and sisters, as we celebrate Easter, what is the significance of this gospel to us? Or the celebration of Easter in general? This day, or Easter, that we celebrate is an invitation. I would even say constant invitation out of darkness to all of us, or living behind darkness into the light of the risen Christ. That's why last night we have heard, most of us have heard, the solemn declaration of the light of Christ after this Paschal candle was given the light through the new fire. And we responded, thanks be to God. And in the light of Christ, we see Him and we recognize each other as brothers and sisters in the Lord. It is that light that enables us to tell that night has ended and day has arrived. It is that light which summons us to leave loitering in the dark. In the resurrection of Jesus, we also celebrate God's liberating love for his beloved Son. Resurrection is the Father's response to the cross. His defiant answer to a world that hoped violence could keep Jesus in its hold. In raising Jesus from the dead, God raised every value that Jesus stood for, every story that Jesus told, every preference that Jesus made, every purpose that Jesus followed. All this was given new life and significance. And we can all catch something of the reality of the resurrection, especially when we experience new life in the midst of hopelessness. We can see it in the beloved disciple, St. John, who see in the dark what no one else sees. And for all this, we rejoice. And that's why we greet everyone, not only our friends or family members, but everyone, because we would like to share this joy of the resurrection. Happy Easter to all.